Just as Alberto Del Rio was released from the WWE earlier this week, AJ Lee almost suffered the same fate as being fired from the WWE as well. Because, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Show Entertainment on YouTube.com. Make sure to like this video and subscribe, where it's always prolific, consistent, and dedicated. In light of the news of Alberto Del Rio being released from WWE on Thursday due to unprofessional conduct and an altercation with an employee, it has been disclosed that Divas Champion AJ Lee was almost fired last year for similar behavior. But when that behavior began and when she erupted at the NBC Sports Personality, with which the story many of you may know or heard of or read, there was not really much details as it concerns her standing in the company and whether or not the WWE was going to take action or whether or not they were going to fire her. But there are new details emerging about that incident that almost had AJ Lee fired from the company. Now, in my opinion, this whole NBC Sports Personality thing, this girl, I guess, she allegedly knew CM Punk for years, long before AJ Lee's relationship with CM Punk. And then one thing led to another, and I guess maybe AJ Lee got a little flustered, maybe a little jealous that she was talking to CM Punk. And she pretty much went up to the NBC Sports Personality, Michelle Beadle, I think her name was, and she confronted her, and there was a little bit of an outburst there. And I guess they said the person that was yelling at the personality was Lee. The NBC presenter continued, "I honestly thought it was a joke when AJ Lee first yelled. Period. The event went on, and it was amazing, so I hope we can move on from this ridiculous, lame story. As for the crazies, blocked, and happy freaking holidays." Shortly after, WWE announced that Del Rio was let go due to unprofessional conduct and an altercation with an employee. Ring of Honor founder and RF Video owner Rob Feinstein claimed that Del Rio slapped a member of the WWE social media team at television tapings this week. Dave Meltzer reported that during this incident with AJ Lee, in a separate incident, AJ wasn't safe at all, Meltzer wrote. There was a reason she wasn't fired, and it had nothing to do with Punk being her boyfriend, nor how good a performer she was, although her star power did play into it. He continued, the decision was made to fire her, but Vince overruled it, because he saw the big picture. It's very complicated, but in that issue, Vince was savvy, way beyond those underneath him, and saw what would happen long term and make the big picture smart call. If that happened now, the situation would be the same, and she wouldn't be fired for the same reason. Her being fired for that specific incident would have caused a chain of events to happen next that Vince thought he would do the company more harm than good. There is no guarantee he was right in how he thought it would play out, but it was far more foresight than is usually exhibited in those situations. Well, I mean, that was just an outburst that she just was a little jealous. She got a little overzealous. And AJ Lee, to my knowledge, I mean, the report doesn't say anything about her hitting her or her smacking her. It was just a little words exchanged. So I can see why Del Rio was released, because he ended up slapping the employee in an altercation with an employee. So, I mean, you know, Del Rio's instance is definitely a lot more drastic than what happened with AJ Lee and Michelle Beadle. So it's a whole different set of circumstances. AJ Lee obviously in far better stance in the company, obviously, than Alberto Del Rio is. But when I'm hearing he was let go to unprofessional conduct and an altercation. So, I mean, AJ Lee had unprofessional conduct, but she didn't necessarily have an altercation. So, you know what? Del Rio, you know, it's just a tough time right now in the WWE. It's rough to be a superstar. You know, maybe the stress was catching up with Del Rio. I mean, there was rumors that, you know, the guy that Del Rio struck had already made fun of Del Rio previous to that, so you can't really blame Del Rio. There's a lot of different situations, there's a lot of different parts that you can take this. So your comments and your opinions on AJ Lee almost being fired from the WWE. But you know what? At this time, you know, AJ Lee is riding a wave of momentum. AJ Lee, maybe she's getting a bit of an ego, but that Michelle Beadle, I mean, even though she's got a relationship with CM Punk, she sounds like she's a little bit nasty to me, but that's just the way I'm looking at it. Your comments, your opinions, but AJ Lee still currently with the company thanks to Vince McMahon overruling the decision. Subscribe.